Hey, what is going on, guys? Sports 15 here. Today we have another episode of Toronto Maple Leafs Be a GM mode here in NHL 13. So it's been a while since I made the last episode, but now we are in the playoffs. We are taking on the New Jersey Devils in the first round of the playoffs. They had the 8th seed. We had the 1st seed. We'll go check out the playoff tree very first thing. So in the Western Conference, Columbus is taking on Nashville, Calgary, and Phoenix, LA and Chicago, Edmonton and Minnesota. And then in the Eastern Conference, us against New Jersey, Florida against Winnipeg, New York Rangers against Carolina, and Ottawa against Montreal. So those are the matchups in the first round. We are number 1 seed taking on the 8th seed, so we will go to team standings to check out the team stats. So we will go to the NHL. Yes, that is it. So we finished in 2nd in the NHL in points. So yeah, we had 109 to the Devils 94. So it's not that far away, even though they finished in 8th in the conference, but it's pretty close. So goals for per game, we had 3.23. We got first in the NHL by quite a bit, by 0.3. But by 0.33, we were in first in the NHL. And New Jersey, where is New Jersey? Where are they for this? I must have passed them. My bad. They are in 8th. So we are pretty much way ahead of them in goals for per game. Goals against per game, we are in 6th. And New Jersey is in 18th. So we have them beat in goals for and goals against. Now power play, we are in 2nd with a 20.6, second to only Detroit, and then New Jersey was in 8th with a 17.9. So we have them covered in power play, goals against, and goals for. Now PK, we were in 5th, and New Jersey was, where is New Jersey? New Jersey was in 19th. So we have them beat in all 4 of those categories. So those 4 things, which are like the most important things, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now let's go view lines. If you forget my lines, we got Huberdeau, Drouin, and Kessel on the first, Zarkov, Scheifele, and Van Riemsdyk on the second, Kadri, Vitulama, and Colburn on the third, and then Dorsett, Moen, and Ashton on the fourth. Now defensively, our top pairing is Riley and Phaneuf, and then second pairing is Pulock and Gardner, and then the third pairing is Dougie Hamilton and Brian Campbell. So those are our defensive and offensive. Now goalie-wise, we have Jack Campbell in net, who's an 83 overall. We also have Jose Theodore. Yeah, I think that's it. It might not be Jose. What is it? I can't even remember his first name. Let's go to New Jersey. So on offense, they have Kovalchuk, Hendrik Sedin, and Tedenby. I think they might have a better line because Kovalchuk and Sedin are 2 phenomenal players, both 90 overalls. We don't have any 90 overalls on our first line, but they have Tedenby, who's probably a third liner, I would say. So yeah, I'd say the first line's like even. Thiessen, Henrique, and Soitu. And then our second line is a lot better. Third line is Bure, Zajac, and Clarkson. Our third line is a lot better. And Terrell, Josephson, and Bozak. Our fourth line is, I'd say their fourth line is better. So offensively, we have them covered. Defensively, Glaubeff and Larson. Our top pairing is a lot better. Urban and Volchenkov, our second pairing is a lot better, and Morrissey and Javeliti, yeah, I think our third pairing is better. So offensively and defensively, we have them covered. Howard and Bescaroni, I think Jimmy Howard isn't as good of a goalie as Jack Campbell, so we should have them covered in all categories. I was just giving you a little update on those. So let's get right into the first game. We will start simulating it right away. So let's go first period. We're going to do every game in these playoffs 6 times sim speed. So first goal of this round was scored by Adam Henrique, then Glaubeff. So we are taking an early 2-goal deficit. So then Scheifele scores on the power play. We still have the power play right there. That was only the second shot of the game for the Leafs. JVR scores there, so it is tied now 2-2 at the end of the first period. So we're headed into the second period. 5 minutes in, nothing happening. About halfway through, JVR scores right there. His second goal of the game. They get a power play. We kill it off. We are up 3-2 now. Shots are pretty much even after the second, and we are heading into the third period. They get a power play. We kill it off. Vitulama scores from the third line, and we have to kill off 10 minutes with a 2-goal lead. We have a power play. We do score. Huberto scores at the tail end of that power play. So we pretty much have this game in the bag. So yeah, we do win this game after a shaky start, giving up 2 goals. We scored 5 unanswered goals from the first to the third period. So we do win game 1 5-2. Wasn't too much of a challenge. We did lose in the shots game by 4 shots, but we had a good penalty kill. Did not give up any power play goals. We had 2 power play goals, so our power play was pretty good this game. So all in all, it was a great game, except for that little shaky start. So Shifley gets the first star, JVR gets the second, and Campbell gets the third. So we do win game 1, and we are headed to game 2, still at home in the ACC in Toronto, and we will be still taking on the New Jersey Devils. So if we can win this game, we can hold our ground for the home ice advantage, and would give us a good advantage heading into New Jersey, where I know they don't sell too many tickets, but it could be anywhere that you go for somebody's home game, like an away game for yourself, could be they have a lot of home ice advantage. So while we're waiting for this to simulate, I'll grab a sip of water. Alright, so this is taking quite a while to simulate. Finally it goes there. So we will simulate this game, and we're going to go 6 times sim speed again, and here we go. So Bure scores to start off the game with that. For them, they have another good start early in the first period. Huberto scores, and then JVR scores, both power play goals. And then we get another power play. We do not score there. Kadri scores there, so we're up 3-1. And we're reaching the end of the first period, but they do score with about 49 seconds left. Jazv, I don't even know. So we do head into the second period with a 3-3 tie game. Feason scores to tie it up, and then Kessel gives us the lead. Then Shifley scores again to give us a 5-3 lead. And with about 5 minutes left in the second period is done. We're headed to the third. We get an early power play in the third period. They kill it off. Josephson scores for them. And we have about 5 minutes left to kill off. We have a 1-goal lead, and we do end the game with a 5-4 victory. Neither goalie played too well. Jack Campbell stopped 21 of 25 shots, so that's not that good. So both goalies had a pretty shaky game, but we did pull out the victory. We beat them in the shots game 39-25, and we do win game 2. Kessler gets the first star, Kadri gets the second, and Shifley gets the third. And we are headed into New Jersey with a 2-0 series lead. So like I predicted, we are off to a good start in this series. We have shut down Kovalchuk and Hendrik Sedin early in this series. I'll do this really quick. Where was that one guy that was pretty good? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was that forward that I just passed by. Him? Yeah, I think it's him. I think he is the one good player that is in this draft. I'll go through defensemen just to check. No defenseman and no goalie. So it is that forward, the one good prospect in this draft. So if we can get the first pick, then we'll get it. But if we can't, then there's no use picking up the second pick. So we are headed into New Jersey for Game 3 and Game 4. So hopefully we can win at least one of these games to go up 3-1 in the series. So we'll start off the sim, 6 times sim speed. And for once, they didn't score in the first 5 minutes. So that's a good start. 10 minutes in, nothing happening. We've had 2 power plays that they've killed off, and it's looking like, yeah, there we go. End of the first period and no scores. So heading into the second, about halfway through, we do get a shorthanded goal from Zarkov. Now we're finally halfway through. Phaneuf gets another shorthanded goal on the same power play, so it was not a good power play for them. And nearing the end of the second period, they get a couple more power plays, but we do kill them off. They get another power play there. We need to stay out of the box. Gardner scores there, and we have about 10 minutes left to kill off, and we have a 3-goal lead. We do get a power play goal there from Shifley, and it's looking like the game's pretty much over. There we go. Game is finally done, and we do pick up the win here in Game 3. So we win 4-0. We beat them in shots again, back-to-back games. So pretty much we had a really good game. Jack Campbell gets his first shutout of the playoffs. He stopped 30 of 30 shots. Pretty good performance from him. He should get first star. Seeing that nobody scored multiple goals in this game. So Jack Campbell gets first star. Zarkov gets second for that shorty. And Dion Phaneuf gets the third. I just want to go in and check out penalty summary. They had 1, 2, 3 penalties, 4. They had 4 penalties, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6 penalties, so we took quite a few penalties, which I do not like. But either way, we do win that game 4-0, and we are headed into Game 4 with a chance to sweep these New Jersey Devils on their own home ice. So it would be nice to win it here, but if we can take it back to Toronto for one more home game, pick up some extra revenue from those home tickets in the playoffs. So we are about 10 minutes into this period. There we go. We are 10 minutes through and no score. JVR opens up the scoring in this game with a clapper from a weird angle. So at the end of the first period, we are up 1-0. They are doubling us on shots, and Feason scores there to tie up the game. About 10 minutes into the second period, still a tie game. We've come back in shots. And that is the end of the second period. So third period, we get a power play there. First power play of the game, another power play, and nothing happening on those 2 power plays. About 5 minutes left in the game, still tied 1-1, and it's looking like we are headed to overtime. So 5 minutes in, nothing happening, even though we had that power play there. Another power play, we can't score. They kill it off. 3, 2, 1, and we are headed to double overtime. So early in that double overtime, they get a power play. We killed off, but then they scored. Josh Morrissey scores there. And we do not sweep the New Jersey Devils. So we lose in double overtime. Shots were 39-38 for us. Both goalies should get first stars for playing like 4 1/4 periods. Great performance by both goalies. Morrissey gets the game ender. Jimmy Howard gets the first star. Jack Campbell gets the second, and Morrissey gets the third. So we do lose Game 4, but we still have a 3-1 series lead. All we have to do is win one of these next 3 games, and we are headed to the conference semifinals. So we are back on our home ice for a chance to win the series. So hopefully we can win on our home ice. It looks like Winnipeg has eliminated Florida. So that was the first team. They might have swept them, I guess. So we are headed into Game 5 in Toronto. So let's get right into this. And here we go. So about 5 minutes in, they get a power play, sorry. And 10 minutes in, they get another power play. And looking like nothing's happened in the first, but Bozak scores there from the 4th line, and that is the end of the first period. So after the first period, shots are pretty much even. They had a couple power plays. They get another one there, another one there. We've got to stay out of the box, boys. 5 minutes left in the second, and still no goals in the second. So we're down 1 goal heading into the third. They get another power play. We score there. Jonathan Drouin scores. And we tied the game up. We get a power play. We can't score. Another power play. We can't score. There we go. Jake Gardner scores from the point with a clapper. They get a power play late in the game. We do win this game. We win the series 4-1 in Game 5. So great third period performance there by Drouin and Gardner. Jack Campbell had a pretty good game, stopped 35 of 36 shots. Jack Campbell had a pretty shaky start in these playoffs, but in the last 3 games he had a pretty solid performance. So Jack Campbell gets the first star, Gardner gets the second, and Huberdeau gets the third. So we won this series. We're going to sim up a little bit to see who we play and see how all the other teams did. We'll check some stats, and we will go check out the playoff tree, and then we will be done. So after the first round, we do win 4 out of 5 against the New Jersey Devils. They weren't too much of a competition. We really shut down Hendrik Sedin and Kovalchuk. That was the most important part of winning that series. So JVR is leading us in goals with 4, and Scheifele is leading us in assists with 4. Kadri leading us in plus-minus with a +3. Dorsett's leading us in penalty minutes with 13. And Jack Campbell is obviously leading us in wins with 4. So once this sims up to this end of the week, we will check all the stats and stuff. It looks like Montreal beat Ottawa there. So, yeah, let me just grab a sip of water. All right, so the current round of the playoffs is over. So, yeah, we'll continue this. It'll sim up to this Saturday, which is the day of the first game. So we'll go through. We'll check some stats here. So goals leader is Mealy from Phoenix. Pacioretty is tied with him from Montreal. We have JVR there in tied for third. And then Shifley is tied for sixth with 3. Now assists, Atkins, and Skinner and Petrie are all tied for first with 5 apiece. We have Shifley, Huberdeau, and Kessel all with 3 assists. Points, Mealy is in first with 9, and then we have Shifley up there tied for fourth with 7, and then we have Huberdeau and JVR tied in sixth with 6 assists. 6 points, sorry. Wins, Cheveldaev, Campbell, Lundqvist, Awaya, and Price are all tied with 4 wins in first place. So then save percentage, we'll just go through. Jack Campbell's in 8th with a .944. Goals against average, Jack Campbell's in 8th with a 1.67. So not too shabby there for all the stats. We will go and check out how our players did in the playoffs so far. Whoops, the wrong stats right there. So we will go to player stats for the playoffs, NHL, and we will go check out how our team is doing so far. So I think the most points somebody had on our team was 7. So Shifley's leading us with 7 points. Huberdeau has 6 as well as JVR. Kessel has 5. Gardner and Zarkov have 4. Drouin has 3. Kadri has 2, as well as Pulock, Campbell, and Phaneuf, Riley, Colburn, Vitalama, Dougie Hamilton all have 1, and then Ashton, Moe, and Dorsett all have 0 from the 4th line. So pretty solid start. JVR's leading us in goals with 4. Shifley has 3. Huberdeau has 2, as well as Gardner. And then Kessel, Zarkov, Phaneuf, Drouin, Vitalama, Kadri all have 1, and then the rest of them have none. Now assists, Shifley and Kessel and Huberdeau all have 4. Zarkov has 3. JVR, Pulock, Gardner, Campbell, Drouin all have 2, and then Colburn, Kadri, Riley, Dougie Hamilton, and yeah, that's it. They all have 1 assist each. Penalty minutes, Dorsett and Phaneuf are both in double digits with 13 and 10. Everybody is positive except for Moen, Ashton, and Dorsett, so our 4th line isn't doing that well there. We'll go check out goalie stats quickly. So Jack Campbell has a 1.67 goals against average. He is 4-0-1. So he has no regulation losses so far. He has no shootout losses. He has let in 9 goals with a 94.44 save percentage. Shutouts, he had 1 shutout. I think that was game 3. Or maybe game 2. Penalty minutes, he has 9 goals, assists, 9 points, all that good stuff. So that is it for this video, guys. Wait, no, that is not it. Sorry, my bad. We gotta check out the playoff tree. So in the Western Conference, Columbus beat Nashville in 6 games. Phoenix upset Calgary in 7. LA beat Chicago in 5, and Edmonton beat Minnesota in 7. So the matchups in the Western Conference are Columbus and Phoenix, LA and Edmonton. Now, in the Eastern Conference, we beat New Jersey in 5. Winnipeg upset Florida with the sweep. So they are taking us on in the next round, 1 against 7 seed. And then New York beat Carolina in 6. And then Montreal upset Ottawa in 6. So the matchups in the Eastern Conference are Toronto and Winnipeg. And then New York Rangers and Montreal. So that is it for this video, guys. I will see you guys all in the next one. Hopefully you did enjoy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.